youngster no live in a tenement yard. No. Good boy no live in a tenement yard.
What up, family? How you doing? This is me, your boy, your urban sports guru. Thank you for coming in. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. My name is Alonzo Good, and we're here to cover your favorite sports topics for the week. And let's get started. Now, this week, the Colts signed Frank Reich to be their head coach after the bullshit they just went through with Josh McDaniels. Before I even get to all of that, I'd like to give a special shout out to my friend Amanda, big Buffalo Bills fan, and she was the one who said something to me. She was like, "Yo, Guru, why isn't Frank Reich getting any consideration for these head coaching jobs?" And I was like, "I don't know. I actually don't know. I mean, he was offensive coordinator for the Super Bowl champions. Why was he getting no consideration?" Then out of nowhere, this comes about, and she was the first person that came to mind. You know what? I give credit where credit's due. Amanda, love you, baby. Thank you for subscribing. About this, Josh McDaniels. This fucking scumbag, Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels, you're a piece of shit, and I'm going to tell you why you're a piece of shit. Everybody knows the rules when a team wants to sign one of the assistant coaches to be their head coach, and that team has an extended playoff run into the Super Bowl. When that coach basically tells that team that I'm going to be your coach, they stop looking for other coaches. They actually hired other assistant coaches as per what this motherfucker wanted. And then when it comes down to the come down, you say, "Nah, I ain't fucking with y'all." First thing that came to mind, though, to be honest, was Andrew Luck. Because the only thing, in all due respect to Jacoby Brissett, I think, is a good quarterback. And I've said this on the show before, and I'll say this again. There's not a quarterback in the game today under the age of 30 that I would take over Andrew Luck. Carson Wentz, keep banging. Derek Carr, keep banging. Cam Newton, keep banging. Who else? Any of you motherfuckers. I'm not taking any of y'all over a healthy Andrew Luck. Healthy Andrew Luck is the only reason to take that job in Indianapolis. Even though Jacoby Brissett at times looked good, Andrew Luck is the only reason to take that job. He's a special young quarterback. So first thing that came in my mind is, you know what? Maybe he's not going to be healthy. Because guess what? The shit they're saying now, oh, he'll be ready come week 1. He'll be ready come training camp. Revisionist history, people. This is the same bullshit they were saying last year. And the man never played a game. Matter of fact, he only practiced like one time. But nonetheless, Josh McDaniels, you knew this already. Josh McDaniels had to have known this already. There's no way in hell he's not going to know this to not agree to take the job. No fucking way. No fucking way. So for him to do this, he's a fucking greaseball. And I want Andrew Luck to be healthy, not just for selfish reasons, because I think he's a great quarterback. I want to see him be healthy to be able to work with Frank Reich. Because what I think Frank Reich is going to do for him, he's going to protect him. I was speaking with one of my bros, my brethren T Black, and he said something that was very applicable to the situation. He compared Andrew Luck to David Carr. A lot of people forget how good David Carr actually was. David Carr's problem was never if he was good enough. David Carr's problem was he wasn't protected. This motherfucker was punch drunk because they never fucking protected him. And that's basically what's happened to Andrew Luck, who's even more talented, who's produced more, but he has not been protected. Frank Reich is going to protect him. And I think that's going to be a good look for him in the long run. I think that the Colts end up getting someone who's better for him. Because one thing we've seen out of these coordinators from the Patriots, they look great with Belichick. They don't look like shit without him. Every single last one of them so far has looked like shit without him. They've only looked great in other positions where there were coordinators. Romeo Crennel did not look good as a head coach. Guess what? He's back in Houston, looks great again as a coordinator, not as a head coach. So far, Bill O'Brien looks the best out of all of them. And that's not saying much. That's not saying much. So I think the Colts end up dodging a bullet. Because Josh McDaniels, maybe he could have did something again, working with a great quarterback, as he's now working with a great quarterback. But I think things end up working out for the best for the Colts. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Send me your opinions. You know what I'm saying? The email bstusg@gmail.com. That is bstusg@gmail.com. Send me your opinions. Send me your debates. Let me hear what you got to say about that. So we move on to the next topic. LeVar Ball made some comments in Lithuania talking about when Lonzo's contract is up in 3 years, that he's only going to sign with a team that's going to sign him and his two other brothers, LiAngelo and LaMelo. This motherfucker LeVar Ball. Family, I got to be real with y'all. I'm going to tell y'all really how I feel about LeVar Ball. First of all, I have to support and commend LeVar Ball for creating his own brand and not just sucking up to the Nikes and the Adidas and all this other. I gotta salute him for that. Secondly, I have to salute him for bucking the system dealing with the NCAA. The NCAA are the biggest fucking pimps around. And although the high school to the pros and a one and done has ultimately hurt the game of basketball, the flip side of that debate, the flip side of that argument is the fact of the way these kids are getting pimped. So his idea of creating a separate little league, I think, is a beautiful idea. How's he going to make that happen? I have no fucking clue. I have to also commend him for his stance against Trump. A lot of pundits on TV blasted him when he wouldn't just say a simple thank you to Donald Trump, when Donald Trump said he did what he did for his son LiAngelo, when LiAngelo acted like a fucking idiot over there in China. I supported LeVar in that, and I did it for this one reason. It is very obvious that Donald Trump did that just so he could parade these young kids in front of the cameras to say, look at these 3 little niggas I bought. And LeVar Ball may be an asshole. Maybe an asshole. I believe he is an asshole. But I think he saw exactly what I just said to you. And he didn't bow down to that. So for that one reason, I have to support him on that. I have to. As a black man, I must. But I have to call this shit that he's doing with Lonzo, the way he's constantly calling out the players, calling out his coaches, I have to call this shit what it is. It's getting to the point with LeVar Ball. It's getting coonish. It's getting very, very coonish. And it's fucking annoying me. Because he does things at one point that, even though he may be a jackass, I have to, as a man, as a black man, respect it. But then he does this coon shit where it's like, you're not going to get respect doing this shit. And his son is talented. His son being Lonzo. But he has not been what the Lakers need him to be. Yes, he's only played 1 year college ball and he's still just a kid. But this is my belief. This is just my belief. When you heap all this pressure on him, the fact that he's from, Los Angeles, Chino Hills, and he's playing for the Lakers now. He's not playing in Phoenix. He's not playing in Boston. He's playing for the Lakers, hometown kid. Played at UCLA. And the fact that even Magic himself doubled down on that pressure in the first press conference with Lonzo, pointing at the rafters saying, yeah, it's your job to fill up those rafters. LeVar isn't helping him in this regard. He's heaping more and more pressure on this kid, and what I'm seeing from Lonzo is such a blah attitude towards it. I'm seeing a lack of aggression. I'm seeing him not really manning up. That's what I'm seeing from him. I don't think LeVar is helping him one bit. I think what he's doing is coonish, and it's not helping LeVar that Lonzo has not been what the Lakers need him to be. Is he a good basketball player? Obviously. Is he projecting still to be a good basketball player? Yes, he is. But they drafted him to be a savior of the franchise. They drafted him to bring back Showtime. This is what the fuck they drafted him for. They didn't draft him to come in and be a good role player. That's not what they drafted him for. And I think Magic needs to start understanding that, you know what, this kid's not going to be Showtime. And the fact that he's not going to be Showtime makes LeVar Ball that much less tolerable. See, if he's Showtime, you could tolerate that bullshit to an extent. But I'm not seeing Showtime. I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing, trying to play a comparison, maybe an Aaron McKie with a little more flash. Aaron McKie used to play for the Sixers, you know what I'm saying, the backup point guard. Won a six-man award. I'm seeing that kind of guy. I'm not seeing a star. I'm not seeing it. Because normally, even when they're young, you can see the flashes where you extrapolate upon that and that will grow into stardom. I'm not seeing that out of him. Not even a little bit. I'm not seeing it. But he is very talented, and I wish this young brother the best. I just want his father to shut the fuck up. And last but definitely not least, if the Lakers want to have any hope, and I do believe they have hope in landing LeBron James, LeVar definitely needs to shut the fuck up for that. Because a lot of things about LeBron you can say negative, you can say positive. James is not going to put up with that shit, and I don't blame him for it. Not one bit, I do not blame him for it. In our next story, Charles Haley did a radio interview this week where he said, and I'm quoting, Jerry Jones built this house for a bunch of losers. Jerry Jones built this house, probably referring to the new stadium, for a bunch of losers. I don't believe the players so much are the problem in Dallas. Now, everybody y'all know who's watching the show that I'm a big Giants fan and a big Cowboys hater. But I'm going to put my objective hat on right now and just speak the truth as far as football is concerned. Just speaking football. The difference between the Cowboys then and the Cowboys now is this. Jerry Jones, through the help of Jimmy Johnson, who had proved himself to be probably the best talent evaluator in the history of the sport, with the massive talent that he put together on those Dallas Cowboy teams. Now, all you Cowboys fans that are watching this, you remember it was regularly said that the amount of talent on those Dallas Cowboy teams, that 10 different coaches could have won a Super Bowl with the amount of talent they had. Now, you Cowboys fans should remember this. And it is true. Because Jimmy won 2, then Barry Switzer won 1. Different coaches, different systems, but it had so much talent it didn't even matter. The point I'm making up is this. Jerry Jones wants to win and be ratchet with the headlines at the same time. He wants the headlines, he wants the flash, and he wants the Super Bowls. You were able to achieve that in the 90s thanks to the overwhelming advantage of talent that you had then. Dallas Cowboys then had so many Pro Bowlers and so many Hall of Famers and had by far, all due respect to Emmitt Smith, they had by far the best offensive line I have ever seen. This was an offensive line that routinely went up against number 1 ranked defenses and they were pounded down their throat. Nate Newton would tell guys, would say to guys, he would say in the interview before the game, by the third quarter, we're going to challenge your will to compete. Meaning we're going to make your punk ass quit. They were so big, they were so strong, and they were so damn good. With all due respect to Jackie Slater, with all due respect to Hall of Famer Anthony Munoz, the best right tackle I've ever seen in my life is Eric Williams. In that short period of time, Eric Williams. Eric Williams used to have every badass defensive lineman who played on that side in his fucking back pocket. My favorite player at the time, Michael Strahan, at times looked scared of him. I seen him chokeslam Michael Strahan. Reggie White, the best defensive end of all time, he had him in his back pocket. Not once, not twice. I'm talking all the time. Green Bay would dominate every other offensive line in football except Dallas. Now, I'm bringing all this up for a reason. They had the overwhelming advantage of talent, which is why they was able to overcome all of the ratchetness, the arrests, and all the other bullshit that kept them in the headlines. Now, this Cowboys team, they have a great offensive line, particularly left tackle, not right tackle, but great offensive line, across the board, best in football. Great running back, even with Tony Romo, had a better quarterback. You know, Dez to Michael. You don't have the overwhelming advantage of talent because you only have maybe 2 good players on defense. Now, DeMarcus Lawrence finally had a good year this year. Isn't this contract year? Hasn't he not had issues with staying on the field? Now you have to make a decision of whether you're going to pay him. And he's no Charles Haley. Say what you want, Charles Haley, 5-time Super Bowl champion. He's no Charles Haley. The only other good defensive player that you have, bona fide stud, Sean Lee. In my opinion, one of the top 5 linebackers in the game today. The problem is, and we all know that Sean Lee can't stay on the field. He's tender. He's going to miss 3 to 4 games every single year, at least. At least. So, y'all don't have the overwhelming advantage of talent. Sports has shown us, and this is different sports. I use the example of the 2000 Lakers. With all the beefing that they had with Shaq and Kobe. Shaq and Kobe was beefing with each other. They were ratchet. Those teams were ratchet as hell. But they were able to win. Why? Because they had 2 bona fide Hall of Famers. 2 guys who were in the top 10 all-time players in the National Basketball Association. You had the overwhelming advantage of talent. That's why they were able to overcome all of the ratchetness that those 2 in their drama was bringing. And they won 3 years in a row. But when you don't have that overwhelming advantage of talent and you have all that ratchetness, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. So the problem with the Dallas Cowboys is Jerry Jones. When Jerry Jones finally puts football first, before the headlines, before the ratchetness, then you'll start winning Super Bowls again. But as a Giant fan, I love this shit. Y'all may have some years where y'all win the division and all that, but guess what? Y'all ain't never going to win shit. It's never going to happen. You can send me evil emails. I don't give 2 fucks about your feelings. I don't give 2 fucks about none of that shit. Fuck all you Cowboys fans. I can't stand you motherfuckers. I hate you from my core. I hate y'all. But anyway, that's just how I feel. Y'all know what I'm saying is 100% truth. 100% truth. Second Jerry Jones start putting football first, before the ratchetness, you'll win. But until then, you're not. Which shows this clearly, the fact that his head coach is still Jason Garrett. When you had a football first guy there, you put the shackles on him. Bill Parcells. We had Bill Parcells. We won 2 Super Bowls. You had Bill Parcells. You put the shackles on him. And look at how much talent Bill Parcells brought into your organization. Refresh my memory, but didn't Bill Parcells bring out Tony Romo? Wasn't it Bill Parcells who said, as a Giant fan, I thought he was crazy, but wasn't it Bill Parcells who said years ago, this guy Jason Witten is going to be better than your guy Jeremy Shockey? He was right. Wasn't it Bill Parcells who drafted DeMarcus Ware? So you had a great football guy. You had that. And Jerry Jones, because he didn't want to embrace the ratchetness, he didn't want to embrace your ratchetness, y'all fucked that up. When y'all put football first, you got a shot, but until then, fuck y'all. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about organization that matters. An organization that wins. An organization, frankly, the best organization in professional sports. My New York Yankees. Spring training is here. in a oh happy day. Oh happy day, you know, we got Giancarlo Stanton in camp early. We got Aaron Judge in camp early. You know what I'm saying? Gary Sanchez, Greg Bird, Didi Gregorius. Oh, we ready. Oh, we're so ready. We're so ready. Our lineup is looking sick. I know y'all hating this right now. Our lineup is gonna look real fucking crazy. But being objective, I gotta keep it real. Is Severino going to mature to be that front ace of a starter? That's the question mark. I have my concerns. I, for one, have always thought that Dylan Betances should have been starting. Just putting that out there. The fact that we still use him as relief, I, for one, always thought he had the stuff, multiple pitches, and he should have been starting. But, Yankees have a way of doing this when they get young guns, and like they did with Jabba, then they put him in the bullpen. Jabba should have always been starting. Fuck all those Jabba rules. They fucked that whole package up with Jabba. But my question is starting pitching. I have to give a shout out to my friend Shannon. She's a big Met fan, and I'm gonna say this to her on the air through the lens. I wish I had your boy, Noah Syndergaard. If we had Noah Syndergaard, a.k.a. Thor, I would have zero concerns about our expectations about a World Series. Because he's a horse. If we had that to go with our lineup, I'd have no expectations. No reservations, whatsoever. But the one other reservation I have, rookie manager. Although he has the pedigree from his father, you know, his brother played in the league too, Aaron Boone. He was our hero in 2003, you know, the big home run against the Red Sox, fuck Red Sox. And rookie manager, we got to see what he could bring. And he has such a plethora of talent, particularly on the offensive side. We got to see what he can bring. But I'm really excited for the season. I'm very, very excited. This hasn't been this kind of excitement for the Yankees since when we first signed A-Rod. Being a Yankee fan, when you saw another Yankee fan, all you had to do was say A-Rod, and they said it back to you. It was that kind of excitement. And now it's replaced from A-Rod to Giancarlo. That's all you got to say now. So it's like I'm very, very excited to see what the season's going to bring. I think we can make it to the World Series, even though Houston's very, very formidable. Of course, they are the champs. And they have that frontline ace in Justin Verlander. But Justin Verlander will look good one year, then the next year look like shit. I mean, they claimed him off of waivers or a trade late mid-season last year. Detroit got rid of him for a reason. Let's remember that. So he was able to turn back the clock and look like the old Verlander last year to the stretch run to the playoffs and into the World Series. But Detroit got rid of him for a reason. Let's see him do that for a full year. And then come talk to me. Moving forward. In boxing. My sport. Boxing. Let's get it. Now tonight we have WBA middleweight champion George Groves going up against Chris Eubank Jr. in the tournament at the 168-pound division. And I'm really looking forward to this fight. Very looking forward to it. It should be on Fox, if I'm not mistaken. But Joe Groves has a lot of punching power, has a big right hand. He throws it as a counter right hand. Throws it very, very well. Throws a straight right hand, not a big wild right hand, but a nice, good straight right hand. However, I give the edge in this fight to Chris Eubank Jr. I think Chris Eubank Jr. is a very, very talented fighter. I think he's going to have a lot of tools. I think the speed disparity in this fight is glaring. It's miles apart. And I think ultimately that's what's going to win Eubank Jr. this fight. Carl Froch, who fought Groves twice and has sparred over 100 rounds with Eubank Jr., He says it flat out. He's picking Eubank. He's been in there with both guys. He's picking Eubank. And guess what? So am I. I think Eubank Jr. is going to win this fight hands down. I think he's going to outclass him. As long as he can be careful enough to not walk into too many of those counter right hands. He does that, he wins this fight. Unanimous decision, I say 116-114. That's how I see it. 116-114, that's about 8 rounds to 4. That's how I see it. I expect this fight to look like his last fight against Yildirim, where basically you just saw the speed being too much, and he was just combos too much, and eventually just popped him with a left hook. I don't know if he will drop Groves, but it is possible. I will give Groves the respect that it will go to the decision. I don't think Eubank will knock him out. I won't be surprised if he got a knockdown. But long story short, I think Eubank Jr. is going to win this fight. Running away, 8 rounds to 4. That's how I see it. But in big boxing news, it is official. WBO champion Jeff Horn will defend his title against Terrence Bud Crawford. Now, before it was speculated that this fight was going to be in Australia. Then they was going to have this fight in Madison Square Garden. Instead, this fight is going to be in Las Vegas. Now, for months, I know people have been talking about this fight being in Australia, and that gave everyone cause to pause because we've already seen Jeff Horn benefit from fighting in Australia in that gift decision he got against Pacquiao. And furthermore, the fact that Terrence Bud Crawford basically normally only fights in Nebraska. It's a big difference from fighting in your hometown, Omaha, than having to go all the way across the world. Australia, from what I know, is a beautiful place, but it's different from fighting in someone else's hometown than always fighting in your own hometown. Now, this fight, I think, is tailor-made for Terrence Crawford for many reasons. Terrence Crawford is moving up from 140 to 147. And in doing so, you want to put him up against someone who he can get his feet wet against, who can be tested to some degree, because he just finished unifying at 140. But you don't want to put your fighter in so many big fights in a row. With that being said, it's a win-win for him because he gets that kind of opponent and at the same time gets to fight for a belt right there and gets to fight for a belt. I mean, if I'm, Keith Thurman, I know Keith Thurman is madder than a motherfucker that he's injured right now. Because Keith Thurman holds 2 of the major titles, 2 of the 4 major titles. If Keith Thurman was healthy, he would have went after Jeff Horn to snatch up that 3rd or the 4th title. So that would then give him 3 titles, 3 of the 4 major titles, and giving him even more power within the division. But unfortunately, he's still not healthy. So, but I know deep down, if he's not going to say, I know his team is thinking that. If Keith was healthy, we'll be beating the shit out of this guy, and we'll be getting a 3rd title. But it's tailor-made for Terrence Crawford. The guy comes forward. He's tough. I give Jeff Horn his props. He is tough, but he's tailor-made. The only question is, would Terrence Crawford be able to carry the weight and carry his power? And it's not so much about being able to knock the guy out. It's being able to have enough power to make him respect you as he's coming forward, where he's just not walking through your punches like you're not even touching him. And that's the only question mark. And I think the fact that he's taking his time in this move, the fight is scheduled for April 14th. I think he's going to win. I think he's going to dominate this fight. He's going to dominate. He's going to claim another title, which gives him some power within the division, even though he's only had 1 fight against someone who we only know because he got a gift against Pacquiao. If Pacquiao got the correct decision in that fight, we would not be discussing Jeff Horn in any way, shape, or form. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. So Terrence Crawford basically gets to steal a title against this guy. Couldn't ask for anything better than that. Terrence Crawford's gonna kill this dude. It's tailor made for him. Moving forward. Former champion Adrian Broner was arrested this week for sexual battery. Ladies and gentlemen, family, send me your thoughts. Send me your thoughts on all these topics. Send me your emails. Send me your debates. bstusg@gmail.com.
I ain't touched that girl.
Well, what really happened there?
Huh?
What really happened?
Nothing. She wanted to take a picture and I ain't feel like taking a picture.
Did you know her?
Nah, I ain't never seen her.
Well, what did you
She
do?
knew me though.
Yeah, she did know you, yeah.
She knew me though.
So the allegations against you of groping her, that's completely false.
Ah, that's completely flawed. That's flawed. No cap.
Do you know her?
Huh? I don't know her like I don't know you.
She just wanted to take a picture with you.
And I didn't.
What was she claiming you did to her?
I have no idea.
Come on, bro. We gotta go. All
Yeah,
right.
but you're innocent.
Oh yeah.
Now, about Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner's been called a lot of things. A lot of things. And most of the things are correct. They're 100% correct. But this story just smells fishy to me. I'm just going to be honest. It smells very, very fishy to me that Adrian Broner could be in a mall. In a mall, as you see from the footage you see. You can be in a mall and sexual battery and there's no footage of what he actually did, grope this woman in any way, shape, or form. Now, as he came out, he's basically stating that the girl wanted to take a picture and he didn't want to. Sounds like to me he didn't want to take the picture. Like, hey, baby, let me take the picture. Did his hand go too low or like what? I don't know. But I have a hard time believing, even with some of the stupidity that he's done, that this dude is gonna feel some girl's ass or titties or whatever the fuck he's being accused of, broad daylight in the middle of the fucking mall. I have a hard time believing in that, because that right there would be so beyond stupid. So beyond stupid, like stupid ain't even a word, and I'm at a loss of the words to describe how dumb it would be. So I need to see more. I don't think they're gonna show more because I don't think it really happened. For those of y'all know, I'm a convicted felon. I was convicted of robbery, burglary, and evidence tampering. And being upstate, I've seen a lot of guys doing time for sexual cases, and some guys who were innocent. So I have an issue when I see situations like this and guys are getting charged for sexual battery when they probably never did a damn thing. Because I see what happens to those guys upstate. And up there, they don't give a fuck if you're innocent or not. So I have a problem when shit like that is being dumped on a brother, because you're not just saying that he's a criminal. You are attacking his character. Because even amongst street motherfuckers, the most hardcore street motherfuckers, sexual cases, rape and shit like that is a no-no. A big fucking fat no-no. Nobody respects that shit. And Adrian Broner's been cut from that cloth. Adrian Broner comes up from that kind of environment where that kind of shit ain't tolerated. I have a hard time believing that he would do that broad daylight in the middle of the fucking mall. Now, if you said something like this, a story came out, he's in a hotel room, that is a different circumstance. But broad daylight in the middle of the fucking mall? Hell no. Hell, I'm not believing that. Show me the footage. I want to see all of the footage. Not that little punk ass footage, no. All of the footage. Because I can't believe that. Moving forward, NBA All-Star Weekend has already started. Last night was the celebrity game, was looking good. Shout out to Quavo, he was looking real good. Not surprising. I've seen him play basketball. We've seen him on through social media. Supposedly, he balls. So I'm not surprised by that. Shout out to him. God bless him. Looking forward to the dunk contest tonight. The contestants are Donovan Mitchell, Rookie of the Year candidate from Utah; Dennis Smith Jr. from Dallas; Victor Oladipo from Indianapolis Pacers; and Larry Nance Jr., formerly of the Los Angeles Lakers, but now the Cleveland Cavaliers, because LeBron James felt like snapping his fingers and getting him another super team. But anyway, I digress. My pick is he's coming back home, Larry Nance Jr. His father was a two-time champion. He jumps even higher than his father, and you see the highlights. I mean, this brother, he don't discriminate. He does not discriminate. No matter who's down there, if there's a lane, that's your ass. I expect to see creativity. The dark horse maybe Darren Smith Jr. Oladipo, Oladipo's the best player of these four, clearly. But he's not the best dunker. Donovan Mitchell, I don't see him that much as a dunker. Great young player, not much of a dunker. But athletes win dunk contests. The best athlete here is between Dennis Smith Jr. and Larry Nance Jr. Giving a slight edge to Larry Nance Jr. He is my pick. He is my pick. But also, I'm looking forward to the All-Star Game, hoping that it's a lot better than it's been in years past. One of the things I fucking hate, how our stars are too good for us to do a dunk contest, but yet you'll play in the All-Star Game, and then you'll do everything you should be doing in the dunk contest. This fucking kills me. But when I look at baseball, look at those guys, they'll gladly do the home run derby. Solely because the fans want to see it. But our athletes won't do that because they too good for it. It's one of the things that pisses me off, but I'm looking forward to a good dunk I'm looking forward to a good dunk contest. And my pick is Larry Nance Jr. Once again, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Send me your thoughts. Send me your emails. bstusg@gmail.com. That is bstusg@gmail.com. Now, for those of y'all saying you don't watch the show, you could have been anywhere in the world. But you're here with me. I appreciate that. Peace and love. I'm out. Yo.
Influence a lot of what we do. Like